sternly surrender, allowing us greater movement to investigate his whereabouts. We will keep you posted on all information we require leading to his recovery. Thank you for your patience. From a grateful nation, sincerely, Captain Stuart Johnson. Isn't that terrific news, Mariam?
Was it addressed to me?
Yes, is there a problem?
Why didn't you give it to me?
When I saw who it was from, I couldn't wait to open it. After all, it was addressed to Mrs. Jablonski. It was an innocent mistake, don't you think?
Yes, I just would have liked reading it firsthand.
I thought you would be grateful, but all you care about is being first.
I am grateful, Harriet, but it was my letter.
Well, what difference does it make? He belongs to both of us.
Yes, but he's my husband.
And my son. Don't forget I had him first. There's hot water on the stove. Would you mind making us a cup of tea? It's my damn leg. It puts me in a bad mood in the morning. I talked to Dr. Mueller about it, and all he said was, "It's the years, Harriet." That's a rotten thing to say, don't you think? It's not very optimistic if you ask me. I mean, whatever next? Will my ears fall off on my next birthday? You should be grateful that you're young and fit. Whatever troubles you think you have, you don't really start until after you turn 50. You're 33 now, aren't you?
No, I'm 35.
Really? Where does the time go? My legs started acting up after my 53rd birthday, and if I didn't need it, I swear I would cut it off. You can't imagine the pain. It's unbearable at times. There. Thank you for this, dear. We'll just let this sit now for a while. It's actually hot this morning, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Excuse me, what are you working on?
Oh, I'm adding trim to the neckline of Rosemary Benning's wedding dress. Mabel said it's too revealing.
Oh, no, Rosemary's much too young to have a budding problem.
Apparently she's sprouted over the last year or so.
Last time I saw her, she was flat as a washboard. Now, after I turned 16, I was cousin to the dairy cow. There was much more to cover and plenty of blockers. Oh, I think I'll have some sugar to sweeten my day. How about you?
No.
I can just see Morgan coming into the kitchen wearing that old red robe that Father gave him, the newspaper tucked onto his arm, asking, "Is the coffee ready yet, Mother?"
That seems like 1,000 years ago.
What a teary-eyed thing to say.
I just have trouble visualizing it, that's all.
Fiddlesticks. That's your biggest trouble, girl. You just don't think enough positive thoughts. I don't know if you've noticed, but of late, you've become much more withdrawn.
What do you mean? I don't feel any different.
Well, everyone's noticed. Oh. Well, I'm not going to name any names, but everyone's seen a change.
Well, Mabel's not said anything.
Of course, she has a dear. She's your friend and wouldn't want to hurt your feelings.
How have I changed?
Well, I'm not a psychiatrist, but when Morgan first brought you home, honestly, I took him aside and I said, "Quiet ones will turn on you, dear. Pick a girl who speaks and does exactly what's on her mind, and you'll know where she's coming from."
Yeah, that is a horrible thing to say. Why are you attacking me?
Attacking you? Go jumping to conclusions. I'm just speaking good sense. Why are you so defensive?
You know, I may be quiet, but I do speak my mind.
Yes, and usually for all the wrong reasons.
You know, I don't have to listen to this.
Here, come back, sit down. You know how I am. My husband said I should have been more wearing a bridle. Here, don't let your tea get cold on account of me. I don't know what gets into me. I really don't. Let's keep the weather. Ever since I was a girl, I hated summer so wet and sticky you could hardly breathe. My only fond remembrances of Father telling stories about Ireland. We'd sit out on the porch long into the hot summer night, hoping for a cool breeze. Did you know he built this cottage the year I was born?
Yes, Morgan told me.
What a storyteller he was. He'd talk of the rolling green hills of Ireland and how the cool mist wet your face when you walked the countryside.
But if he loved it so much, why did he leave?
Did Morgan ever share that with you?
No.
1880, when he was a soldier, he served in Africa in the Zulu Wars. And when he returned to Ireland, he learned that his wife had died of pneumonia a month before his arrival. He cut his ties then and there and boarded the first ship to America. He said it was too painful to bear, and the only cure was a stiff wind in his face.
Sad. Had they been married long?
Just short of a year. He didn't talk about it much. Kept her tucked away somewhere in his heart. Now, did Morgan ever tell you how my father and mother met?
No.
Father stopped into the Horton Bay store where my mother was working behind the counter, and it was love at first sight. He had intended to travel further north that day, but as fate had it, my mother reached out and grabbed a piece of his heart, and that's how I eventually sprung into the world. Oh, and while we're on the subject of this cottage, we really must get the roof fixed. We can't go through another winter like the last one. Pots and pans are meant for cooking, not for catching water drops. I want everything looking nice when Morgan returns. It's the least we can do for him, don't you think, after all he's endured?
Yes.
Hello, anyone home?
Oh, Sebastian! We're just having a cup of tea. Will you share some with us?
Oh, I'd love some. It wouldn't be too much trouble.
Now, Mariam, look who's here.
Good morning, Pastor Dupree.
Good morning, Mariam. You're looking fit.
Sit down. Cream and sugar?
Yes, please.
Now, what brings you here this fine morning?
Oh, I was checking in on Mrs. Valmont across the street. You know, she left Alfred a couple of weeks ago. She's still adjusting to the change. So I guess I stopped at the chapel here a while.
Oh, such a sweet man he was. Big as a horse. Remember when they first moved in? It was 30 years ago. My God, where does the time go, Sebastian?
Oh, it goes by in a blink. We missed Mariam and you at his funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry to say we couldn't attend, but we had paid our respects. We took a couple of loaves of fresh bread over to Ruth and spent the afternoon visiting with her. I have to be honest with you, Ruth and I aren't the closest of neighbors. Oh, but we are polite. Now, Alfred, with his infectious laughter, he will be greatly missed.
Yes, he once sang in the church choir, but not for long. He had a deep, lovely voice. He couldn't keep harmony. I'll tell you, choir practice was always a challenge when Alfred was there. We laughed more than we sang at all the jokes he shared.
Oh, we have a letter about Morgan. Good news.
Oh, wonderful, he's alive.
Well, we can only hope. It's a letter from the Pentagon saying that they've stepped up their search efforts now that Germany's surrendered. Isn't that grand news?
Splendid news.
I feel it in my bones. We're going to see him soon enough. I was praying just last evening, and I truly believe that he's alive and well. He's probably being housed by some French family in a farmhouse somewhere.
Rest assured, I trust we haven't seen the last of your son.
Yes, yes. That's what I keep telling myself, isn't it, Mariam?
Oh, yes. She's never given up hope.
How are your spirits faring, Mary?
All right, I guess.
It's gone around a year now, isn't it?
Yes, he disappeared on August 3rd of 44.
Well, I'm sure plenty of the boys were scattered in the confusion of battle.
He could be a prisoner or with the French resistance. I'd know if something was wrong, wouldn't I? A mother's premonition knows these things, don't you think?
You can be sure that he's going to be all right. You received a vision in prayer, didn't you?
I did just as I told you.
All right, then. Whatever you seek in prayer it shall be delivered to you.
That's what I keep saying, isn't it, Mariam?
Oh yes, she's never given up hope.
How about you, Mariam? How are your spirits faring?
All right, I guess.
Mariam, I want you to talk to Sebastian.
We missed you the last several Sundays at the church. Is there anything wrong?
No, I don't think so.
That's not entirely true.
Well, Mabel's given me a few alterations lately. I've been more tired than usual.
There's more to it than that.
What are you trying to say?
Mariam, I want you to share with Sebastian what you told me the other morning.
There's nothing to say. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you do. You just don't want to think about it.
Really, there's no problem at all.
Mariam, you've got to face it. And if you won't tell Sebastian, I will.
I'm not feeling well. I apologize. But I'm too upset to sit any longer. I'm sorry. Please excuse me.
Thank you for coming by, Sebastian. I wanted you to see for yourself how she's doing. You just can't talk to her. She closes up like a clam and you can't get through to her.
Aren't you being rather hard on her?
Oh, not hard enough, I would say.
She's fragile. Perhaps a lighter touch.
Oh, no, underneath she's hard as rocks. Don't let her gentle looks fool you. A seasoned coal miner could not break through her heart.
That's awfully harsh, isn't it?
It's not been easy living with her all these years. When the kitchen floor needs a good scrubbing, my eyes don't deceive me. I know what I see. More tea?
No, thank you.
Her mind is who knows where. I'm trying to talk to her, but she's just not there most of the time.
The poor girl looks as though she could use a good, strong shoulder to lean on. With her husband missing, it's weighing heavily on her.
She's not feeling anything I'm not. He's my flesh and blood.
It's her husband.
Morgan wanted us to live together. Thought it would bring us comfort. But it's only been a burden. I'm so worried that I'll say or do something that I will regret. Lord knows I don't want to disappoint my boy, but why he chose her for a wife is beyond me.
You know, there are times we must walk the extra mile. This is one of those moments. Seek God's strength and He'll give you the power to carry on.
Carry on? I'm carrying the whole damn lock, stock, and barrel.
Yes, I know. But she's your son's wife, and she's committed to your care.
My biggest fear is Morgan seeing her this way.
Oh, I understand.
I don't think you do. I don't want him blaming me for her troubles.
Now, why do you say that?
I want everything perfect when he returns. After all he's been through, it's the least that we can do for him. My God, there's so much to be done around here. The garden is overgrown with weeds. The cottage needs a decent coat of paint. And last winter nearly stripped all the roof shingles off.
It was a fierce winter, all right. I'd say you could use a little help around here.
Yes, but I can't count on her, can I? Now, do you remember how my father was?
Oh, certainly do.
He would have none of it. Until his dying day, he had a hammer, a shovel, or saw in hand, and the finished product to show for it before the sun set.
He was a worker, all right. Good man your father was. They don't make him any better.
He was the best, and my Morgan follows in his footsteps. I just never could understand why he married.
Now, that's enough. You know, it does you no good to be rumbling through these things in the past. We must look to our past possibilities.
Well, all the same, it doesn't change my opinion.
Well, this sort of talk does you no good. You know it. It's bad for your heart. Let it go. What do you say we climb up, take a look at that tattered roof, see what can be done about that?
I suppose we could. This weather makes me sluggish. And I'm not going to climb any ladders because heights make me ill.
Don't worry. I'll do the climbing, for it brings me closer to God.
Well, I'll talk to her with my feet firmly planted on the ground if you don't mind.
Before we go, what's this troubling secret of Mariam's about?
Let's take it outside first. She doesn't talk much, but she's all ears.